This Easter Monday got a rare treat for you. It's Blackburn Rovers up against Bolton. You won't catch a game like this next year. Why is that?
Because you're in League One, innit?
That's right, folks. Back once again with another match preview. This time looking forward to Blackburn Rovers up against Bolton at Ewood Park. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all here under one roof. And I said Championship, folks, not that League One pish that were there last year. Oh my goodness, what a division that was. Very nervy. I never thought we'd get out of it. But we did, so enjoy it, Bolton. Anyway, speaking of that game, I am going to be live on Twitch doing an instant live reaction as Blackburn Rovers take on Bolton for what could be the last time for a little bit of a while, because obviously Bolton have suffered the drop zone. They were relegated by Aston Villa on Good Friday. I was hoping that we would have the honour, but unfortunately that privilege has landed elsewhere. But I'm going to be live on Twitch. Link to that to the channel is in the old description below. But anyway, let's jump into the thick of things. Let's take a look at the match in a bit more detail. It does take place this Good Monday, which is the 22nd of October, and Bolton are still managed by Phil Parkinson. He has done a wondrous job considering the old off-the-field issues going on around Bolton Wanderers. And I do, in all seriousness, obviously, we've gone through the mill with our owners, the Venkeys, and Bolton are going through probably a worse time right now with their owners. A lot of players and staff not getting paid on time. So, yeah, all jokes aside, all local banter aside, I do hope to see Bolton back, because they are, for me, one of the old Premier League old boys, battling with Rovers, with Sam Allardyce back in the day. You know, they were causing problems and all that kind of, so they deserve to be back in the Premier League, and hopefully they'll join us one day soon back in the Prem. But anyway, yeah, it does take place 22nd of April. Phil Parkinson is the manager. The last season they did squeaky bum time survive the drop, 21st in the table. The key man for me will be Will Buckley. The last time that these two sides did play was all the way back at 11th of March 2015, and Rovers coming out with a 1-0 win at Ewood Park. Obviously, we did play the Macron earlier. We'll talk more about that later. Over the years, we played each other 171 times in all competitions. We've only won 63. They've won 70, so they do have the upper hand there. And we've drawn 38 between us. But anyway, let's take a look at the expected lineups. But first and foremost, any injuries for Blackburn? We have Craig Conway's on day-to-day thigh injury. Harrison Reed is also out, possibly out for the season. We might not see him back in a Rovers shirt. Ben Gladwin and Dominic Samuel obviously out for the season. The gaffer has hinted at playing some youngsters, but to be honest with you, I think if they're going to get any game time in this match, I think because of the run we're in, I think that he wants to finish as high as possible. I think 60 points is the benchmark, and he's on his way after those strong wins in recent times. 3 wins on the spin for Rovers. I think it will be a strong 11 with possibly Chapman, Davenport. Who else can Buckley, Butterworth, Nuttall, all that kind of stuff will be on the bench. I think we'll have an inexperienced bench, maybe at least 3 options that I would consider youngsters for this one. It is an opportunity. I think it's a very winnable game for Rovers, and hopefully if we play like we have been playing, we'll come out on top. But anyway, right between the sticks, Bell, Williams, Lenihan and Bennett, my back 4. I've actually gone for Davenport in the middle of defence alongside Tranner, so that's a little bit of a treat for you there. Dak, Rothwell and Armstrong supporting Big DG up top. I think the DG, Dacky boy, the DAD, the dad duo up top is clicking into gear, and despite Danny Graham's aging rapidly at his this time of his career, he's still chipping in with a good handful of goals, and I hope to see him back next season in amongst it once again. I think he's probably playing some of his best football of his career, despite his twilight years. Anyway, let's take a look at the stats now. Obviously, both Dak and DG scoring last time out against QPR. Dak now on 17 goals in all competitions. DG's on 16. Charlie Morgan's on 14, and Adam Armstrong's in there with 8. As for the discipline, Bennett has 10 yellows, Evans has 8, Smallwood has 8, Lenihan has 8 also. As for the Reds, Williams has 2 of them, collector's item, and Smallwood has 1. As for the last 5 fixtures, this looks pretty rosy for Rovers as of right now. 3 wins on the spin. Last time out they beat QPR at Loftus Road, 2-1 winners. In fact, it's back-to-back home wins, back-to-back away wins, sorry. Before that they took on Nottingham Forest, 13th of April, and they won 2-1 as well. All the back on the 9th of April we beat Derby. So like I said, 3 wins on the spin. 3 times in a row as well well. Double scores for us, two apiece. All the way back 6th of April, we did lose to Stoke at home, and then all the way back on March 30th, we did lose to Villa on the road. The last 3 fixtures of the season look like this. Obviously, Bolton next. Then we take on leaders Norwich. They probably could seal promotion. Before then, perhaps. Let's hope so. Let's hope they seal it on Monday, and then they can take their foot off the gas a little bit, and we beat them on the 27th of April. And then we'll wrap up the season at home against Swansea City. Now, how about Bolton? Well, they've also got a host of injury concerns. Luke Murphy is back in training, so day-to-day, I guess, for him. Stephen Island is also back in training. Craig Noon is still out with his hamstring injury, so is Sammy Amiobi. I'm actually opted for Sammy Amiobi. I think he'll make it. David Wheater as well. Big David. To be honest with you, I didn't look at this before I picked my 11. David Wheater, Gary O'Neill, and Jason Lowe all out. So yeah, I've gone in blind a little bit with my formation. So this is my expected start 11. Probably wrong now. Olnick between the sticks. Taylor, Hobbs, Wheater, Lowe, Buckley, Williams, Connolly, O'Neill, Amiobi, and Donaldson up top. Like I said, I did mention some of those injuries there. The likes of Sammy Amiobi is a day-to-day. He hopefully will make it. Gary O'Neill as well is unknown, and I've got Jason Lowe, but he looks like he's out till June. So we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's take a look at the stats here for Bolton. McGuinness tops the goal scorers with 6. Buckley has 5. Beavers has 4. Amiobi does have 4 as well. As for the discipline, ex-Rover, Jason Lowe has 11 yellows. Noon has 10. McGuinness has 8. Vella has 6. And as for the Reds, at least 4 guys on red cards. Wheater, Noon, Amiobi, and Wilson all have a red card to the name. As for the last 5 results for Bolton, they're not great, to be honest with you. Last time out, they did lose to Villa at the Macron, 2-0 loss. That was on Good Friday. Before that, it was a 4-0 spanking by Derby at Pride Park. That was on the 13th of April. All the way back on the Tuesday the 9th of April, Bolton lost at home to Middlesbrough 2-0. All the way back to the 6th of April, they did lose to fellow relegation side Ipswich Town, 2-1 loss there. Now, the last win was all the way back in the 30th of March, where they beat QPR at Loftus Road 2-1. As for the last matches of their championship era, for the time being, Bolton will take on, obviously, Rovers at Ewood Park this weekend. Live on Twitch. Also, on the 27th of April, Bolton will host their final game in the championship up against Brentford, and they'll wrap up the season up against Nottingham Forest on the 5th of May. Anyway, let's take a look at the form table now. What a difference a couple of weeks makes. Rovers are now into mid-table in the old form table. 1-3, lost 3 out of the last 6, scored 9, conceded 9, and 9 points on the board. Very pretty numbers, but most importantly, 3 wins on the spin. As for Bolton, they are rock bottom of the old form table. This is overall both home and away combined. Let's have a look at the home form. Rovers, okay home form. They're actually in 18th spot. 1-2, lost 4 of their past 6. But most recently won 2 out of 3, so it's not too shabby. As for Bolton's away form, they're not too shabby as well. They're actually as high as 16th in the old form table. 1-2 and lost 4 of the past 6. But realistically, when you look at it, it's 4 defeats out of 5. Anyway, let's take a look at the grand scheme of things. The last 5 home fixtures for Rovers and the last 5 away for Bolton, and it's actually similar records. Both of them have 1-2, lost 4. For Rovers, that includes defeats against Stoke, Preston, Middlesbrough, and Bristol City, all 1-0 losses. As for Bolton, their losses are against Derby quite heavily, Wigan 5-2 spanking, Swansea 2-0 loss, and a loss against Leeds as well. Their wins were against Birmingham away, QPR away. As for Rovers, victories were Derby and Wigan. Anyway, let's take a look at this fixture as a whole, the grand scheme of things. Earlier in the season at the Macron, 6th of October, Rovers came out top 1-0 winners. However, back in 2015, 28th of December, Bolton did pick up a win. That was the last time they beat Rovers. But yeah, they've actually won 3 out of the past 6 encounters between Rovers. Rovers winning only 2 of them and drawing 1. How about the last few at Ewood Park? Well, they look like this. Actually, Rovers have not lost against Bolton since 2012 at Ewood Park. But it's not the prettiest of records, but hopefully we can go and kind of do something like that we did back in 2013 when we put 4 past them. That would be nice. A quick overview here of the analysis by WhoScored.com. I'm not going to read over it. You can pause the screen here and divulge all the information that you like. Anyway, what else is going on this good Monday, Easter Monday? Aston Villa take on Millwall in the early kick-off. Elsewhere, Sheffield Wednesday take on Bristol City, who still have aspirations for playoffs. So do Derby, who take on QPR. Wigan against Preston. I think, is it too late for Preston? Possibly. Rotherham against Birmingham. They've got it all to do down the foot of the table. But the real game of the weekend, or the Easter celebrations, will be Blackburn against Bolton. at Ewood Park. Elsewhere, Stoke take on Norwich. Difficult one that for Norwich. Obviously, they left it late against Sheffield Wednesday. Will they do the same against Stoke? Ipswich already down against Swansea. A bit of a dead rubber, that one. Notts Forest against Middlesbrough, who are getting back into the groove. They're grinding out the results. 1-0s, 1-0s, 1-0s. And they get them in there. Hull City, I think they're done and dusted as well. Sheffield United, they've got it all to do at the top end to secure the top 2 spot. Reading against West Brom. I think Reading is safe. West Brom, I think, are settled for playoffs. And Brentford against Leeds is a big one as well. Let's have a look at the table. I would say with 9 points on the board for the majority of the sides, you're looking Swansea are not done and dusted just yet. You know, if they win their game in hand, they'll go up to 61 points with a further 9 on the table. So they've got an outside shot at it. But realistically, I think it's between 8th and upwards for the playoffs. But Norwich are top of the pops, 5 points clear off Sheffield Wednesday. A win for them. Would it do it? Would it do it? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. A win for Norwich and a win for Sheffield United or Leeds would delay any promotion party for Norwich until the Blackburn Rovers game. Anyway, Sheffield United are in 2nd on goal difference ahead of Leeds, who are in 3rd, West Brom 4th, Villa and 5th, Middlesbrough are 6th. Villa look very good and dangerous. My money's on them at the moment. As for the drop, Ipswich are down, Bolton are down. Who's going to join them? Realistically, it is still Birmingham downwards, I would say. Maybe QPR to a point. So it's 17th to 21st or 22nd. They're in the relegation. So as for Rovers, we're in 14th spot. A win for us this week will take us up possibly as high as 12th. As for the top goal scorers, Timo Pukki is the man, 27 goals to his name. Tammy Abraham is 2nd, 25. Billy Sharp, Dwight Gale, Neil Maupay have 23. Che Adams is in there. Jay Rodriguez, Bowen, McBurney, and Graben. I'm sure right outside there is Big DG. He must be itching to get in the old top 10. As for the assists down the bottom there, Benrahma, Hernandez, Guzicki, Lolly, and Buenda are in the top 5 for the assist makers. Now, over the years, a number of players, and I mean a number of players, have played for Blackburn Rovers and Bolton Wanderers. Here are a controversial 3 of them, at least one of them. El Hadj Diouf, that's right, former Liverpool man, obviously did play with, I think, Sam Allardyce back in the day. Well, he played for Sam Allardyce for Rovers, but he was also on Bolton's books when they were in the Prem. He was a handful for them as well, and he was a handful for us. A player, it's kind of like Marmite. You either love him or you hate him. A lot of people did hate him, though. Anyway, as for this guy, Yuri Djukayev, didn't really shine for Rovers. I think he did have a good spell with Bolton, again, back in their Premier League era. And wrapping it up, this guy, one of my favourite ever Rovers, and it is Matt Jansen. Obviously, played for Bolton after his horrific motorcycle accident, I believe. Tried to get his career back on track. But after that, I think he had time in Coventry and then eventually turned to coaching. And the last time I heard of him, he was head coach of Chorley. But he's not there anymore. I think he was removed at the start of the season for pastures new. If you want to check out a full list of all the players that I know of that play for both Blackburn Rovers and Bolton, head over to my WordPress site. Details for that sucker in the old description below. Now you've heard a little bit what I've got to say about the match. What does the cat think about this one? She's wrapping up her predictions. Only 3 left, including this one. Who's going to win? Bolton, Blackburn, Ewood. Here it comes. That's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a good old thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, smash the old subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, World Football related. We're going to all here under one roof. And while I still have you, check out the old link to my old Patreon, boys and girls. We are live with the Patreon, looking for any support in any which way, even if it's just your viewership. If you think about wanting to donate something a little bit extra, there's a link to that sucker in the old description below. And once again, I will be live on Twitch for this game, the whole game. I was hoping there'd be a little bit extra spice in this one that would see Bolton go down, but unfortunately that is out the way. So it's going to be just a local free-for-all, nothing to play for. They're down, we're already safe. Can we play with a bit of flair? Can they actually turn on the juices as well? Or will one of us get absolutely spanked? You'll catch all the reaction, all the instant feelings, and all that kind of good stuff on Twitch. Link to that also in the old description below. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll be back with an instant review, I hope. I'm going to obviously leave the old Twitch studio and run outside and do that for you. But I'll be there for the Bolton one Easter Monday. Check it all out. Until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.